Hi there guys, thank you for tuning in. Today I am going to run through quickly how to assemble a ready set standard desk. So the pieces that we've got here, we've got the main two legs or lifting columns. They're the feet that are attached to the legs. These are the side brackets. This is your main center column that goes across the desk, and there's a little connecting rod here as well that you'll see how that connects the two legs together. The rest of the hardware, everything's labelled quite clearly, so you've got some wood screws for the table, or the different kind of nuts and bolts for the frame, your control box, and the straps, and these are for the feet. So let's get started. See how we go. So first thing you want to do is grab your center bars. When you first take them out of the pack, they will be screwed in. I've already loosened these nuts out with the little Allen key that you get, so make sure they're nice and loose. Get your two of them. These pieces here need to be flat or flush against the bamboo, because that's where you're going to screw the bars to the table. So just roughly lay everything out like that. Get your side brackets and just place them down. And then I don't know how well you can see, but on the table there are sets of pre-drilled holes. It might be a little bit confusing. There are extra holes around. That's because there is a different type of frame that these tabletops are also used for. So the easiest thing to do is actually grab your side pieces first, and you just line up the holes with the pre-drilled holes on the top. So you do that on that side, and the same for this side. And then once you do this part, you see with these, you can kind of start moving around and seeing where each of the little holes line up. Okay, so we've just picked up the two legs and placed them onto the frame that we set up just a moment ago. So nothing's screwed into the desktop just yet, because as we're putting the rest of the frame together, it is going to move around a little bit, and also we haven't tightened anything yet as well, so that will come a little bit later once we've completed the setup of the frame. We can realign everything. It's just good to get it kind of laid out so you know where exactly the frame needs to sit on the table. So what we've done here is we've actually taken the little nut and the Allen key, and you'll see that there are 6 holes here. So we've gone ahead and screwed in some of them there. We'll just finish off the last 2. Okay, so the second leg we're about to put on. The thing to keep in mind with this is that, as I mentioned before, there's a connector rod that connects the two legs up together. There's a few different ways you could do this. You could set up the legs first, flip the frame around, get this rod in, or another way to do it as well is actually to slip. You can see once I've loosened up the little screws here, this moves in and out quite freely. So you want to get this into the little slot here. It needs to go all the way through, so just make sure that happens. And then just hold both, and you're flipping it around, placing it down. So you can see the reason why I did it that way is because you won't have access, if you're setting up the desk this way anyway, you won't have access to do that later unless you flip the whole thing around. And then with this side here, you're just slipping this on. Oops. Okay, so this rod that should still be able to move in and out. It's a little bit hard, but that's okay. As long as you know that it's definitely still connected, like we positioned when this was still facing the other way. Now we can get the rest of these nuts in. Okay, so now we've got the legs attached to the frame. We're next going to screw in the side bracket on one side first. So grab your wood screws, and you could use just a normal screwdriver, or if you've got a electric drill as well, that could help too. So we'll get these screwed in. So we'll just start screwing in our first screw in this side bracket. I don't think I could go anymore, so that's pretty good. We'll do the same for the other side. So I've just placed this screw into position here. It can be a little bit fiddly, so we can, I don't know if you can see it, we've just taken off the little cap that can kind of help you give you access if you do happen to drop a screw. Okay, so we've finished screwing the side brackets in, so they're nice and very secure. We're going to now screw in the middle part. So we leave this last just because there was a little bit of movement around, but now everything is quite secure. This is kind of like the last few screws that need to go in. So we'll just go ahead and start screwing. Great, so we're going to move on to getting the last bit of the frame together. These are the feet, I suppose. So we've got our piece here, the two little caps that go on each of the ends, and our pack of screws. So again, this side is facing up. Line it up with the holes. Get your screw and little washer together. And start screwing them in. Oh, I lined that up. Great. Okay, so now we're just going to get these caps on. We've screwed one in already. It's pretty, self-explanatory. It just goes all the way down until, Yep, so the last bit we need to do now is to get our control box all hooked up. So there are a few different places you can put it. You know, if you've got a cable management tray, you can sit in there. We could have also strapped it to the frame, and then the other option is also just drilling it down into the actual desk itself. So we're going to use the straps that actually came with the kit for this, and strap it onto the side. And so it's always kind of kept on the same side as this little motor. So we've got our straps with our box nice and secure there. We'll just get the little cables and clip them in like that. This here is going to go screwed onto that corner, so I'll just grab my little screws, line it up with the holes. Okay, so we've pretty much got everything set up now, and very shortly we'll flip the table over. There's one thing that I did forget earlier, and it's really important not to forget this. Our little nuts on the center rod here just forgot to tighten, so just make sure, and it's a good thing to check at the end before you turn your desk over that you have gone back over all of these nuts and screws, and just make sure that everything's nice and tight and secure, because it can be a little bit tricky to then flip the table back over. Okay, so we've now set up our table. We've hooked it up to the power supply. It's looking pretty good, so we can just test it out now, and you can just see how it raises up. Keep it at the height that you'd like it at, and